Welcome back to Mutiny Ranch, everyone. It is day 2 of our sourdough project. All we need to do today is shake our jars. That's it. Actually, just tip it over and you're done. So maybe once, twice, 3 times a day when you walk by and you think about it. Guys, day 3, sourdough starter. We're doing a ferment. Same thing today. Check on it. Shake it a couple times during the day. We're looking for those bubbles. It's day 4 of our sourdough tutorial. So I noticed that the top of my lid is hard. So pretty sure that means my ferment is actually going. So I'm going to open it up. There's a little bit of a buzz to it when I open it up. Let that off gas and then give it a shake. So I'm getting a lot more action of bubbles, and I think this will be ready tomorrow. Hi everyone, it's day 5 of our sourdough project. Hopefully you're starting to get these bubbles on your ferment. If not, you can wait another day. I don't know if you can hear that off-gassing there. So a little bit of fizzing. If you hold it up to your ear, you might hear it sounding like a soda. First step, we need to strain our ferment. And we need to capture that water. The water is what we want. You could squeeze it out or press it if you want. Hopefully we get a nice volume of liquid in there because we're going to need it for a couple of days. So strain that off, reserve the water, and then we're going to start making our actual starter. And there's a couple tools that are really handy. Well, the main tool, the number one thing that changed my sourdough starting was using a scale. If you don't have a scale, that's fine. We're going to figure out a way for you to use measuring cups. So I brought those out here too. But the reason why is because we're going to make what's called 100% hydration starter. And that just means it's equal parts liquid and equal parts flour. The problem with that is sometimes we think that equal parts means if I'm going to use a half a cup of flour, I need to use a half a cup of water. And the volume isn't what we're going after. We're going by weight. So I made a little sample here of what we're going to do. 50 grams. And don't freak out yet because I have a way to convert it. So we're going to do 50 grams of water and 50 grams of flour. And that's what's in these 2 glasses. These are identical volume glasses. And you can see I added dye to the water, so it's a little bit easier to see on video. These are completely different volumes. Same weight, and that's what we want, same weight, different volumes. You'll need some kind of container, a nice clean container. I brought a couple samples out. This is where we're going to start mixing our flour and our liquid to make the actual starter. So it could be like a Tupperware type container with a lid, a glass bowl with a nice tight fitting lid, another mason jar, clean mason jar with a 2-piece lid or tight fitting lid, or even something like a takeout container with a nice tight fitting lid. So whichever one you want to use or you have handy, just use. Just remember, we're going to want to be able to access this to mix it or to scoop the starter out. So something with a narrow mouth might not be ideal. If you have a scale, you will be placing your container on your scale, turning it on and tearing it or zeroing it out so that it takes off the weight of your container, and then just make sure it's set to grams. And then what we're going to do is add 50 grams of our ferment water. If you don't have a scale, it's going to be just shy of a quarter of a cup. So let me see. So here's our quarter of a cup, and as you can tell, there's a little tiny bit of space, maybe 1/8 of an inch or so, around the top. So if you don't have a scale, use your quarter cup measuring cup, just don't fill it all the way up. To that, we're going to add 50 grams of whole wheat flour. If you only have white flour, use white flour. It's fine. This is already measured out. I'm not going to dump it in here because I tried it earlier and it made a mess, but this is a third of a cup measuring cup, and you'll want to do a slightly heaping third of a cup. So just a little bit of a dome on the top when you scoop your flour. So not a huge heaping cup, just slightly. Okay, and that will be roughly 50 grams. And you're going to add that 50 grams of flour to your ferment water and then stir it. Just mix to combine. It's going to make like a paste. I should mention your container that you're mixing your starter in should be non-metallic. So glass or plastic is great. So that's it. We have this nice paste of flour and ferment water, and we're just going to place our lid nice and tight on it. And we're going to set that right back into our warm spot. So wherever you were finding success with creating your ferment, put that right back in there, and we're going to check on it in about 8 hours. So in the meantime, find a nice clean jar or container, probably with a lid to set your ferment water in. We need to reserve this for our next feeding. So put it in a safe space, probably good to put it in the refrigerator right now. It's day 5, and hopefully we're starting to see some success out there. Let me know how it's going in the comments. Have a great one, guys.